Hey guys, it's Addon. Welcome back to the channel. And yeah, this is the second CRJ I've looked at in recent weeks, and this is, in fact, from Virtualcol. Now, if you're a hardcore simmer, turn away now. You're going to complain, but I'm not going to listen. Because this video is not made for you. This video is made for people who might want something that's a bit lighter for them, a bit easier to experience, and may not want to deal with a full fidelity simulation of an airliner. Virtualcol themselves say that is their target market. I'll be reviewing that with that in mind, from the position of someone who's looking at this for fun out of their sim, rather than necessarily absolute accuracy. But we'll combine it in there. Now consider the CRJ from Aerosoft costs you €50, contains a 550, 700, 900 and 1000 model, full systems, full details, and has auto start in its tablet, so you can fly it pretty simply if you want to. This is €25 from Sim Market, which is a not budget price for what even themselves are arguing is a budget offering. From themselves it says, not study level, no real cockpit, it's developed with beginners and enthusiasts in mind, for relaxation and diversion. It's a low cost model, €25 is not low cost. 8K textures, 4K interior. Okay, fair enough. 20 deliveries here, 8K. That's all relative, and I will explain to you in the flight why 8K and different size of textures is relative and often misleading. We have flight attendant voices, which they had with their Airbus 220. We have documents and indications in the tablet. We have a tablet system. 20 odd deliveries, including things like American Eagle, Aeromar, Air Canada, Austrian Arrows, which I should have been flying here, Independence Air, Japan Airlines, Lufthansa Regional, Northwest Airlink, SkyWest Charter, United Express, Profat Zambia, bunch of others too, but we'll get on to that. Now, we'll do a bit of a walk around on the exterior of the aircraft while I talk about the CRJ-200 itself. So let's get ourselves on the ground with the benefits of 24. Those mountains look fresh today. So yeah, for 8K I should say exteriors, these are not incredible. I mean, they're not awful, but they're not good. Some bits almost have semi-decent modelling, but then not really. Guys, you put €25 as a price tag on this thing. I'm judging it by the €25 market, which gets you a very good aeroplane in today's flight sim world. Textures are, you might be on an 8K texture sheet, but when you put the entire aircraft, so here's an example for you. Let me explain this to you. Now, if I have the entire side of this fuselage on one 8K texture sheet, yeah? Oh, stupid cart. If I have this all on one texture sheet, and it's 8,000 pixels across, fantastic. I have a certain resolution of texture. If this was 1,000 pixels across, or 1024, or 2048, or 4096, the sizes that are used, it would be a certain resolution. But if I split it onto two texture sheets, down the middle, back half on one, front half on the other one, or even just half on the bottom of the sheet, top on the other half of the sheet, then I'd have, at 4K, the same resolution as this one. Or at 2K, the same as 4. It all doubles. It's not how big the texture sheet is, it's how big the parts are on the texture sheet. So when people say, oh, it's got this much resolution, it's often a misnomer. Let's get on board, shall we? And this is not 4K. If this is 4K, I'm surprised. The fire extinguisher isn't 4K. And that's blurry. Oh gosh, that's not pleasant at all. Have a quick tour of the interior here. Can we open this door to the cabin? We cannot. Tablet. Let's quickly go to our doors here just so we can open these so you can see them. Alright, we're going to have to squidge our way in here. Obviously, doors to the exterior are open now. So we have cargo at the back, forward passenger door and service door. Let's get back inside here. And we do have a full model cabin, which isn't... Nothing's clickable, of course. Not expecting it to be in this sort of aircraft. It's not looking like 4K, that's for sure. We have a lavatory. Is the lavatory enterable? It is not, but the cargo bay is. Okay. As is the inside of the modelling. Fair enough. Not fantastic. So, what does the tablet give us? We'll close these doors off for a start. We have audio options, so silence in the cockpit, active aural sounds, we'll have that on. We have options and we have tutorials. Video tutorials and other links there as well, which is fantastic. Help with tutorials and starting the engine, so energize the system. Oh, this is useful. GPU fuel, open hydraulic and battery 1 and 2 on the bleeds. We'll follow the checklist in a second. Easier than this. But it's nice that it has pictures in the tablet. That's actually quite cool. This is basic configuration, so we can have ready for start, and started, and set basics. That's called dark. And we also have our ability to have the flight attendant voices. Now, of course, I'm going to set mine to Deutsch. We're at Innsbruck in Austria, so why not? And we are flying Lufthansa. Now, Lufthansa were the delivery customer initially for the CRJ 100-200 model, which was Canada's first ever commercial airliner. Now, this is based on this Challenger 600 business jet by CRJ, Canadair, and obviously the CRJ project grew from that. About 1,000 of these have been built over the aircraft's history so far, and of course we have the bigger variants in more common use. 50-seat aircraft, powered by General Electric CF-34s, and it has a rough speed of kind of high-speed cruise, 465-ish knots, 424-ish at normal, 41,000 foot ceiling, takeoff and landings about 5,000 feet to 4,000 feet. So, pretty capable little aircraft. Now, on that note, let's go power up this baby, shall we? So we're going to pop open our tablet here. So standby battery switch is up there. That is set to on. DC services on. GPU to on. The lights are not very bright, so that's in use, I think. Yes, we're in use. Battery switches to on. They are in fact on. That's not actually a battery, but it's something separate. It's less complicated. So the ESS bus ties to on. Plug those in. Again, it's hard to tell if it's on or off. It's open or closed, and it's open. There we go. Fuel pumps to on. Now that is just those two, so we'll set those in. Now they're slightly brighter. APU to start. Should be our APU providing power there. APU blue to open. There goes the APU behind us. So passenger signs, we don't need to worry about hydraulics. We'll need to make sure those are all set. So on, and on. Now after that, we need to worry about our flaps, which are up. That's fine. Everything else is here is good. Strobes, beacons, pushback, those aren't relevant for us right now. Engine start. So power levers to idle. Those are, in fact, idle. Okay, those are idle right now. So engine mode selected to start. That is up here. So master must be switched on. Okay. Those are armed for the ignition. They are now on. So now we're going to go for our engine 1 start. We have boom zoom. We're getting N2 climbing. Gonna wait for that one, and then we're going to give it its fuel. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And we'll go for a right start. At least it's working somewhat like the... They're not going to yell at me, good. Okay, so, again, it's not accurate, but at least it's accurate enough that it's at least following some of the semblance of the systems. Da 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 da. Boom boom, off we go. Engine, please start. Now let's make sure everything else is here is good. So bleed air. Can you press these? Is that right? That looks like it's right. Excellent. The engines are coming up nicely. Those are where they should be. So APU to bleed off. So those goes to go off. Stop those. Fantastic. And everything should be right about here. For taxi, everything else is pretty normal. So that is us somewhat started off. Now, my engines are behaving differently, which is super weird. Why is left not really spooled? Did you think about starting, buddy? Did we do that? Okay, let's just try that again. Once more with feeling. It's like it's sitting there kind of trying, but it's also not. There's every chance I screwed that up. We'll just stop the engine. It's not actually set as running, that's just ambient. Okay. So any kind of behavior, that'd be nice. There we go, it's going now. Fantastic. That's actually come alive. Wonderful. So down here, alternator is LM fail. Engine 1's coming up, that's fine. Engine shut down, that's okay, it's fine. It's all good there. So we'll make sure the alternators come off once it actually comes up to speed. Everything is good up there. It's just settled down to 25 again. You know what? It's probably a me problem or something else, so I'm just going to go to our tablet back here and set us as ready to fly, because I don't want to spend all day doing this. Does this even want to do it properly? I don't know. Does it? For a simple aeroplane, it's a little bit complicated. That's also one of the most useless removal of the yokes ever. But heck, what the hell? Back to main menu. Let's put this on, shall we? We'll do automatic. Let's see what it does on automatic, shall we? The engine is coming up, so it is responding, and that will come back. So we'll request pushback here. So everything else in the aircraft is looking about right. The only question is, where's the parking brake hidden? Because I don't know where it's located. Should be the tablet, it's listed there. Starting engines, power, parking brake. Okay, where are you? In the parking brake? Oh, it's right there. Fantastic. Right, we're getting our shove back here. And we should get ourselves ready to move off in just a second. And we'll be airborne in no time at all. Before takeoff is directional trim, elevator trim, flaps, flight controls. Yes, 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 yes. Simple, simple, simple. Oh, and the turning is the right way as well. Fantastic.
Meine Damen und Herren, willkommen an Bord unseres Fluges. Wir möchten Sie
Ladies and
auf die
gentlemen, welcome aboard our aircraft.
Sicherheitshinweise aufmerksam machen, die Sie während dieses Fluges befolgen müssen. Bitte verstauen Sie Ihr Handgepäck sorgfältig in den Gepäckfächern.
It's the usual stuff about put your stuff in the seat back and put your seats upright, stow your bags, yada yada, take your seat belts.
Legen Sie bitte Ihren Sicherheitsgurt wie hier gezeigt an und passen Sie ihn an. Lassen Sie Ihren Sicherheitsgurt angelegt und sichtbar, bis das Sicherheitsgurtzeichen erloschen ist. Wenn Sie es brauchen, können Sie es wie hier gezeigt freigeben. Vor dem Flug werden Verlängerungs- und Schlaufengurte von der Kabinenbesatzung ausgegeben. Fragen Sie einen, wenn es notwendig ist. Bitte schalten Sie Ihre Mobiltelefone und alle anderen elektronischen Geräte in den Flugmodus.
Yes, telephones in flight mode, thank you.
Und andere elektronische
Right,
Geräte
left engine's
ohne
again, not
Flugmodus
behaving
müssen
itself.
ausgeschaltet sein. Trennen Sie vor dem Start und der Landung alle Ihre elektronischen Geräte vom
Oh, hang on.
Stromnetz.
I'm special. I'm so special.
Mitgenommen werden, aber Laptops und größere Geräte müssen in ihren Hüllen in den Gepäckfächern
Quiet.
oder unter dem Vordersitz
Heidi, be quiet.
verstaut werden. Wenn Ihr Gerät verloren geht oder in die sichere Struktur fällt, bewegen Sie Ihren Sitz nicht. Rufen Sie einfach ein Mitglied.
As soon as Heidi shuts up, I'll tell you what just happened.
Es ist illegal, auf diesem Flug zu rauchen, einschließlich elektronischer Zigaretten. Auch in den mit Rauchmeldern ausgestatteten Toiletten ist das Rauchen strengstens untersagt. Der Versuch, diese Detektoren zu beschädigen.
Yes, don't smoke in the toilets. Thank you, Heidi. Go away.
Sollte es zu einem Druckverlust in der Kabine kommen, fallen die Sauerstoffmasken automatisch herunter.
Yes, yes, oxygen mask. We don't care. Thank you.
Legen Sie sie über Nase und Mund, ziehen Sie an den Riemen, um Ihre Maske anzupassen, und atmen Sie normal weiter. Stellen Sie sicher, dass Ihre Maske gut angepasst ist, bevor Sie anderen helfen. Notausgänge
Yes, yes,
befinden
extra mask for
sich
yourself
auf
before you
jeder
help anybody
Seite
else.
der Kabine, vorne, in der Mitte und hinten. Die Ausgangsschilder helfen Ihnen, sie zu finden. Nehmen Sie sich jetzt einen Moment Zeit,
I thought
das
reset
nächste
voices would
Schild
actually
zu
stop
finden,
this.
das sich möglicherweise hinter Ihnen befindet. Verlassen Sie im Falle einer Notfallevakuierung das Flugzeug, indem Sie den Ausgangsschildern und dem beleuchteten Weg entlang des Gangs folgen.
Yes, look at your nearest
Um
exit
eine schnelle
emergency.
Evakuierung zu gewährleisten, lassen Sie bitte sämtliches Handgepäck, High Heels und scharfe Gegenstände zurück. Unter Ihrem Sitz finden Sie
Take
Ihre
off high heels and
Schwimmweste.
sharp objects while
Das
using the
Mitnehmen
slides.
einer Schwimmweste aus dem Flugzeug wird gesetzlich bestraft. Ziehen Sie es bei Bedarf über den Kopf, befestigen
Take a
Sie
seat,
die
Heidi,
Riemen
we're about to
und ziehen
go.
Sie es fest. Wenn Sie den Ausgang erreichen, blasen Sie Ihre Schwimmweste auf, indem Sie an den Leseknöpfen ziehen oder in den Schlauch oder die Schläuche blasen. Das Licht
Are you
leuchtet
gonna be
auf,
quiet?
wenn es
70
mit
knots.
Wasser in Kontakt
Oh.
kommt.
80 knots.
Die Besatzung stellt Kleinkindern Schwimmwesten zur Verfügung. Bitte legen Sie Ihrem Kleinkind die Schwimmweste
like
nur in
Aerosoft's
einer
one.
Notsituation an und blasen Sie diese sofort
Me too.
auf. Ausgangstüren sind mit automatisch Aufblasendenrutschen ausgestattet.
So it's behaving like, wow, you can even hear Heidi outside. That's how loud she is.
Landung sicher, dass Ihr Fenster geöffnet, mit hermetisch geschlossen und Ihre Sitzlehne vollständig aufrichten. Bitte verstauen Sie Ihre Fußstütze, Ihre
Are you gonna be quiet,
Videorekorder
Heidi?
und Ihr Handset. Weitere Einzelheiten entnehmen Sie bitte der Sicherheitskarte in Ihrer Sitztasche. Stellen Sie sicher, dass Sie jederzeit alle Schilder und Anweisungen des Kabinenpersonals befolgen. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit.
Ja,
Unser
ja,
Kapitän
danke,
und die
Heidi.
Crew wünschen Ihnen einen angenehmen Flug.
Okay, right. They still haven't put a button on here that shuts that up, by the way, which I would have liked. So what I noticed is, turns out that my hardware flight controls, my fuel mixture set lever for engine 1 was cut off. When you don't touch those hardware controls in the sim, normally it doesn't do anything. Normally nothing happens if you don't touch the hardware controls, it just treats it as on, or whatever state the sim wants it to be. Especially in a jet without a mixture control. For some reason, the second I actually push it up again, it behaved. Random, I know, but there you go. It happened, and it's not perfect, but it's what it is. So it's not hit a mountain, that would probably be a bad idea. We'll pull the power back a little bit here. So again, they need a cancel button for that, because that's one thing I said with the 220 that would have been a good idea, and it didn't have. So we're going to bring this back around. We're just going to put it back in here at Innsbruck. No need for a long flight. The cockpit is subpar for the price. That pillar in front of my eyes, how was that considered okay? The ambient occlusion that's been generated to basically give that texture is jagged. There's some bits that look reasonably attempted, like the glare shield panel in front of us here. It almost looks reasonable. I mean, this is the Addon flight system, probably from the King Air. It looks semi-appropriate, but it's not, or it could be from one of the Boeings. Not entirely sure, but it's certainly not from the CRJ's actual instrumentation. Arguably, overall, this is not a very good release. This arm are anti-skid. Okay, everything else there is good. I'm going to bring her around here. It's awful for 25 euros. Now, the 220 was a much better release than this, I will say. If you wanted a cheap but fun aircraft you can fly in the sim, the Airbus 220 by Virtualcol is actually decent. And whilst priced similarly, it was a lot better in the cockpit than this is. This is arguably a letdown in the cockpit. It looks like they've ported across their original from FSX. I don't see much upgrade other than slapping the tablet in it. Which is disappointing, because it could have been okay. It could have been acceptable for someone who wanted to just potter around and have a fly. But honestly, for 25 euros, I would say do not touch this. The stock aircraft in the sim are going to be better for you for 25 euros. If you really want a CRJ, buy the Aerosoft one. Now, where's the field? It's up ahead of us, I think. Well, it is, but There it is, around the corner. Okay. It's not good. So my simple, unmitigated answer to this one is, and I always give Virtualcol a chance, because sometimes they put out an aircraft that's not terrible, and they've released some that have been worth a crack. They're not often worth a crack, but they have been, and it's one of those things. Now, let me quickly look them up on their website here so I can quickly take a look at this while I just lock my head tracking off there.
Terrain.
Yes, yes, shush.
Pull up.
Quiet.
Terrain. Pull up.
I'm aware of the terrain.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Oh, shut up. The terrain's fine. This is where it's meant to be. So we had the what Embraers? We had the Beechcraft 99. Okay, no, there's not been much that's been actually worth even salvaging from Virtualcol so far. The 220 I don't hate. So let me put that out there quite bluntly. The CRJ, not CRJ, the Airbus 220, I don't mind. It's the only one we actually have right now. And it's not terrible. There has been worse. It's not good, but it's not terrible. This is honestly a letdown. For the price of €25, I wouldn't bother. Again, buy the Aerosoft one if you genuinely want to fly a CRJ, but if you don't mind, stick to the stock aircraft if you want a casual aeroplane to fly around. This is not worth it for a casual flight simmer, which is realistically their only available market. They've even taken to putting not accurate and not intended for study level in their actual... I've been way too low this entire time. Not intended for study level in bold capital letters in their description, probably because they've had lots of complaints about people thinking it is, which is arguably the fault of them. Now I'm overspeeding. Fantastic. So I'm overspeeding the flaps. Nothing will happen because it hasn't got any level of depth, so that's not in the end of the world. I do somewhat want to get this on the ground. So that is what it is. We'll keep a little bit of power on here to keep the nose maneuverable. Because like the Aerosoft one, it does have kind of a sloppy nose when it's at lower speed.
300.
Okay, we're coming in nicely here.
200.
We're looking good.
Minimums.
Little more power. Right, at least make this a good landing to make up for it.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, I can. There you go. There we go. A little bit of braking action in there as well. We'll make the exit, which is what we want. Engines back to normal. And we'll make the turn off here. I don't think it deserved much more in terms of a flight, and I'm not so upset about not making the most perfect approach there. The touchdown was good. I'll salvage that for myself. I think that was okay, but in general, realistically, I'm not super much a fan of this. I came into this expecting it to be okay from a casual perspective, and I intended this review to be for the casual simmer, the person who might check it out before spending their money on something because they weren't quite sure. If that's you, I really wouldn't. If you are a experienced flight simmer and you're this far into a Virtualcol review, what are you still doing here? Or did you just want to comment something? If so, please go ahead. I'm probably going to say I told you so from the first line of the video. Right. There's Hans. We'll pull in here. Call this a day for our CRJ adventure. Probably not meant to stop the engines before reaching a stop in a airliner. But there you go. So that is the CRJ 200 by Virtualcol. Not worth pixels it's printed on, personally. I expected better after the 220, and that wasn't lots better, but it was better polished. I expected the same level of complexity in systems, that's fine. But the cockpit is a massive letdown in this. The exterior is borderline okay, but the interior really fails the aircraft. Thanks for watching. Bye.